Welcome to episode 5 of the Clever Dicks podcast. In this episode, we speak to Jacques de Reuck and cover his many water activities. He started sailing early, which led him to being in New Zealand, yacht racing, some free diving, and then swimming with the First Seals group. Jacques has done some amazing swims, including the Apalima Strait, showing that age is no barriers to swimming. We talked about his cancer diagnosis, which will probably end his swimming career, but was blown away by his positive attitude. We hope you enjoyed listening to this as much as Duncan and I enjoyed and were inspired by talking to Jacques.
All right. Hello, Clever Dicks. Welcome to today's interview. We have got Jacques de Reuck. Am I pronouncing that correctly, Jacques?
Perfectly correct.
Nice.
Duncan, you do a fantastic job, mate.
I could be like a commentator. Nice. Very good. Jacques has been swimming for a long time. We're going to chat to Jacques about some of his swimming experiences, as well as just some of his very interesting life experiences prior to starting swimming, and just some of the journey that he's been on and the journey that he will be going on into the future. So, Jacques, welcome. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, Belgium origin. And when I was 6 years old, I went with my family in Africa. My father is a surgeon there, and we worked in Burundi for 3 years.
Oh my gosh, that sounds scary.
Until we left with pretty much the family with the last airplane, because it was the war.
Okay.
And then I went back to my little town in Belgium, Eupen, close to the German border. This is pretty much the start of it.
How old were you then?
Well, I left Africa. For Africa, I was 7.
Okay.
7 to 10 years old. Yeah.
Can you speak any African languages?
No, a bit of Kiswahili and Lingala.
Okay.
Habari kani muzuri kabisa.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So back in Belgium?
Back in Belgium, did the study. I had the opportunity to do the study. Very, very bad at it. Extremely dyslexic.
Okay.
So didn't succeed. Had the opportunity. My parents were marvelous in this respect. Mm-hmm. But eventually, I did different job. Had an accident on a motorbike when I was 21. Bad accident. And after that, I was interested in boating. I read a book about boating, sea adventure. Mm-hmm. And this is what I learned. I went to night classes to learn navigation and how to do stuff. So when holiday came, my mom saw advertising in the newspaper, and it did say, come and sail on the Kiwi.
Okay.
From Belgium to the Mediterranean.
So the boat was called the Kiwi?
The boat was called the Kiwi. I didn't know what a bloody Kiwi was. So I said, awesome. So it was a paid trip. I said to my sister, you should come. You're going to be 18 years old. Don't spend money on a stupid party.
Yes.
Come and sail me on this boat.
What year was this, more or less?
The year was in 1974.
1974. I was born in 75, and I am pushing 50.
Right.
That puts you where, Jacques?
I'm 72.
72,
yeah.
Okay, and you look like you're about 42, right? So
that's always so kind. Thanks very much. Bring it on, mate. Bring it on.
Okay, before we get going, we always give a little description, right? So, I'm born in South Africa. I'm born in Johannesburg. There's a lot of dodgy dudes in Joburg, so I pride myself.
Well, at least now that he's here, though.
Yeah, there's my whole family's here, right? So there's about 10 less, yeah. I pride myself on being a pretty good judge of character. And when I saw you, European, slick, cool-looking dude on a Vespa, straight off the bat, I knew you were a good guy. When I saw you swimming and engaging with all your swimming buddies, you're the type of guy that I want to be when I'm older, right? So,
that's good.
Lots of guys in the swimming community respect you, and I want to know what your story is today. So, going back, just so everybody knows that you're cool on a Vespa, your grey silver locks flapping in the wind. I can imagine you got jeans on now. You got a pair of Levi jeans on.
I just jeans on this.
Jeans, yeah. It's got an 8-pack. I reckon if you lift your shirt up for us, we'll see a 6-pack, hairy chest, like David Hasselhoff vibe. So
no hair.
No hair.
I don't have hair.
No hair anymore. Okay, so your mum gave you this newspaper article.
Yeah, so nevertheless, I mean, we decided to hop on the boat. We went on this boat, and for 1 month. So arriving in Portugal, the 1 month was gone. My sister went back to Belgium, and I stay on the boat. One of the crew decided to leave the boat, and I take his job.
Okay.
So eventually they did pay me my food, and eventually I helped them to pay for the food.
Okay.
And I spent about 1 year and 1 month on the boat. I went all to Greece, Mediterranean Sea, and learned a lot about coastal navigation. And from there on, I brought my dog eventually in between to be on the boat. My dog was with me, and I had 8 puppies, by the way, in Greece.
That's that dude in that picture there?
In this picture there. Yeah, in this picture there.
Just for listeners of the podcast,
Yes,
what Jacques
yeah.
did was bring along an absolutely lovely picture which has got a map and a whole bunch of photos from his life. So basically...
I will post that on Instagram and show you
Post
pictures
that.
of the dog.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you can take it out of the frame if you want to have a better picture. But
What was the dog's name?
the dog Berit, her name was called Berit because I fell in love with a Swedish girl what was called Berit. And she was a bitch. The dog was a bitch.
Okay.
Yes.
And the girlfriend was a bitch as well, yeah?
Well, I wouldn't...
Please don't tell me it's your current wife.
That's an edit.
Right. But... yes, so I came back in Europe, in Belgium after this experience. I learned a lot, and I decided I didn't need to work. I work in a pub, and I purchased an old boat, an old double-ender boat, 7.5 meter. And with this boat, this is my boat there. I fixed it for 1 year working in the pub, and eventually I was ready. Put it in the water in Belgium, in the canal, and my brother and my sister-in-law helped me to bring the boat all the way down to the south of France, where I could put the mast on, because I had... so as I went to the south of France, put the mast up, sail my way to the Gibraltar and to the Canary Island, try to find a hot crew, but the boat was too small. They were not interested, so I said, "Oh bugger, I go." And he took me.
Did you say hot crew?
Yes,
Like hot?
like a hot girl.
Like, okay.
Hot
I
girl.
thought maybe there was a sailing term.
No, I mean it's
I'm with you.
a long crossing, Duncan. You know, it took me 32 days on my own. So
So it'd take you 64 days with a hot crew, yeah?
probably. Yeah, so I arrived in the Canary Island in the West Indies in Martinique, and stayed there 4 months sailing around, and eventually sold my boat.
Yep.
And after I sold the boat, I had a job to deliver a yacht to Saint-Tropez,
Okay.
a big boat, 65 foot. By then I was quite a good navigator, using the sextant. We didn't have GPS in these days.
Yep.
And I went to Madeira with my dog. The boat, by the way, was quite funny because it was sponsored by Hermes, you know, the people that sell some very fresh
Clothing, yeah.
the clothing. And I say, I'm quite happy to come with the boat, with the charter. But I go if my dog can go on board.
Yep.
So my dog came on board, and the way the boat was leaning, he was leaning on the side what was more comfortable where the charter
Yes.
were in the cabin.
Yeah.
This where my dog was sleeping too. But so we arrived there, and from there on I went back to Saint-Tropez to sell. The boat was on the market to be sold, and took the train with my dog to Belgium again. From there on, I started to have a bit of a reputation, and I've been approached by one owner of a yacht what was in the West Indies already, and he wanted me to bring the boat to Tahiti.
Okay.
So
gotta go and find some more crew.
well, I had a crew on board. I mean, matter of fact, by then I was just as a navigator on the boat and on this one, and I did fly to the West Indies. It was 55 foot boat.
Yeah.
A Camper Nicholson, beautiful machine.
And the dog was on the boat again.
No, the dog did need to stay home because he had a deck. It was a fiberglass with a thick deck, And the owner,
Scratch the...
not just, but he pee on board, you shit on it, and it's not, not very nice. So I left the boat there and I started to move towards Tahiti. But by then I had a plan. I wanted to do a race. I was looking to find some money to do a race, single-handed, from England, Penzance, which is called the Mini Transat. So the boat is maximum 22 foot boat. And you go from Penzance, Canary Island to Antigua at the day.
Solo?
Solo, yeah. So I didn't find a sponsor, and then my friend, what was my school friend, we've been to school when we were 6 years old, which was running a business, he's still running a business in Europe, quite a substantial business, and we're still a very good friend.
Yep.
He basically came to my help and helped us to finish the boat for the Mini Transat. So I had this boat ready. I did my 500-mile qualification, went to Penzance, and here the flag, go.
Yep.
And it was in 79.
Wow.
79. So I arrived in the Canary the first leg. I arrived on 7th position. It was not the best position, but we were, I think, 27 on the start. And we lost a few boats. Nobody drowned, luckily enough. But make myself ready for the downward leg towards the West Indies. I did better. I arrived 4 in this leg, and so 5th in overall.
Okay.
This way I met my first wife, Bridget, because I was competing against her.
Oh wow!
Yes.
Okay.
My first wife, I met her there, and she joined me after this particular race to Tahiti, because I promised the owner, and I said, I'm going to organize a crew that going to come to Tahiti to bring the boat to New Zealand. This way I wanted to go.
Okay.
And when I arrived in Tahiti with my wife, what the owner didn't know, and I didn't know to start with, is my wife was pregnant.
Yep.
So the time we sailed, eventually we told him before we left, and he said, it's all right, it's all good, we like to have a baby on board.
Yep.
And we arrived in New Zealand, I sailed, the course to stop all the different islands around. Came to New Zealand, I left my wife in Tonga.
Yep.
Because we expect a rough passage, what was a bit rough, to come to New Zealand, and we fly her over.
Yep.
And then I was in New Zealand. Here we go. It was the first,
So that was 1980.
It was 1980, you're right. Exactly, it was 1980. So I spent 6 months here, refurbishing the boat, and it was a lot of fun. And,
was it here in Auckland?
It was in Auckland. We take the wood out of the water in Half Moon Bay.
Okay.
And a friend of what we met gave us an old car, and we visit the South Island with this old car, and did the Nelson Walk, the lake, with my baby was just about 3-4 months old, and we just hold it here. we did just a bucket. And my wife was just breastfeeding.
Yep.
So
I'm assuming it wasn't a French car, right? Because it wouldn't have made it all the way to the South Island, eh?
This right. This right. Yeah. And so after that we went to Europe and did the immigration paper. That's what he need to do in these days.
Okay.
And when we eventually I went to see the consular, it was quite funny. Mr. Snow, a lovely person. And somebody sent me a contract from New Zealand so I could work to have some painter. Yep. And he received these things, this application for painter, and I'm a qualified painter.
Yep.
And he said, I'm sorry, Mr. de Reuck, we don't need painter in New Zealand. We got plenty of painter. And I said, okay. I went back. So I came back a few weeks later with another job. Yep. Sent by an employee, then looking for a skipper of a boat. And same reply with Mr. Snow, knock on his door, and he said, no, sorry, we got plenty of skipper in New Zealand. That's fair enough. The third time I came with another certificate. It was a welding certificate. And he looked at me and he said, Jacques, we got plenty of welder in New Zealand, but I think you want to go, don't you? And he gave me the paper.
Third time lucky.
That's right, third time lucky. So we moved in New Zealand basically, and we stayed there. Fortunately, we separated with my wife 12 years later.
Yep.
But yes, then...
Is she still in New Zealand?
My wife, she went back to Paris. And with my daughter, what was quite only 12 years old at this stage, which did university degree there, she did very well at La Sorbonne in Paris. Mm-hmm. And eventually she wanted to come back to New Zealand, and she asked me, Dad, can I come to New Zealand? And she had twins, baby, from a difficult relationship. Yep. So she came here. She was born here. She was a Kiwi. She speaks French, Spanish, French perfectly. Yep. The brain is Kiwi.
Okay.
Give me your child for the first 12 years, and I make it mine. You understand this story?
Yeah.
This is exactly what it is. You saw a person speaking French, no accent.
Yeah.
The brain is Kiwi. Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But so she came here with all this degree, and she worked for me for a bit. She did a beautiful job, a very clever girl. Mm. And then she said, Dad, I want to be a farmer. She bought a van and she bought some stuff to do some fencing.
Yes.
And she met a farmer north of Kerry. She's the most happy girl ever.
Here you go. So she got a good plan.
That's right. Eventually, my wife was dying in Paris, my first wife. Mm-hmm. I had another wife since then, and 3 kids. A Kiwi girl.
So 4 kids.
4 kids altogether. Four beautiful kids. All finished university. They're lovely kids. And we brought her back to New Zealand to die. She basically died on the farm, and she's there, not very far away from there. So
Kerry side.
Further north at Mangamuka.
Okay.
You know, Mangamuka, just over there on close to the farm. Okay. So yeah.
So, how did you meet your second wife? How many wives have you had?
Well, I've been falling in love often, believe me.
Well, that's a French thing, right? Though it's like
But I got 2 wives, and I got a beautiful wife. She's from Gisborne.
What's her name?
Catherine.
So she's Kiwi.
She's a Kiwi.
So do you consider yourself to be Kiwi?
Yeah, definitely.
So if the All Blacks are playing rugby in the World Cup against, I don't know, France, you shouting for the All Blacks?
Oh, definitely. I mean, if the French win, it's always a bloody good game, you know. But because they're outstanding in the rugby field.
Yes, they are.
You know, it's sometimes you walk over them, and the week after they clean you up. You never know what's going to happen.
I had the opportunity to meet Freddie Michalak a couple of years ago.
Right.
And hell of a nice guy.
Yeah.
But happy to put him back on the plane out of South Africa back to France when he was going out. Okay, so Jacques, if you don't mind me asking, a little bit of a detour here. How long have you been swimming? Obviously, water has always been a key part of your life. What got you into swimming?
Originally, it was a lot of diving, to be honest. Yep. A lot of diving, and then free diving. Free diving, I enjoyed the free diving, especially in the West Indies. I was going.
So free diving is straight down?
Straight down.
No tanks, no assistance. You go down on your own steam?
That's right.
And you got to sort of get to a level and get back up again without any assistance.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. But I was so fit these days, I could easily go 20 meters, spend some time there and go up again, you know. I mean, I remember a funny story in the States. You had all these tourists, they had some helmet with some number, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. And I said, I want to look at this wreck from a shipwreck. So we were not far away, anchor with Dagan, with the boat and we anchored there, and I said, I need to have a look at this wreck. So I swim towards it, and I saw this little guy swimming there on the bottom. So I dive into it. But I didn't have a Pro 4D method. I didn't have my watch on it. I bought sort of watch just to find out how depth is. So I remember being around it, I just knock on somebody's things and I ask him, how deep are we? This is the reason I know I was 20 meters deep, But, I mean, obviously, as you go down, as a swimmer, further you go, better you feel. But you need to remember that you need to go up. Yeah. So, but it was all right. You need to relax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a whole different mindset.
It's a different. I did enjoy that. After that, I mean, I did know that they were talking about people swimming from Rangi. Swimming all the way from there. So I was working in New Zealand, and these days I could go early in the morning, hop on my car, I live in Ponsonby, cross the harbour bridge, go for a swim at 6:30 or so, have a few laps along the Yellow Buoy, build myself up, and hop in the car and be back on the harbour bridge, no problem, before I go to work, you know.
That
So
must have been a while ago.
this is true. I mean, it was
Before
my
the traffic.
first was in 1990. My first Rangi, you know. But before that, obviously, I built myself up. They had the swim called the Herne Bay swim, the Chelsea swim.
Yes. All the Auckland Central Masters swims.
This right. So you build yourself up, and then eventually you say, okay, we tackle. I mean, this guy the organization was very adventurous. You just hop on the wharf and you say, this is where you go, you know, no flag, no buoy, nothing, you know. You just that way, you know. So yeah, I mean, this last week with the organization of the banana boat swim, it was my 14 crossing. What is official? What I have the document of it, you know. It's a lot of them I don't have document of it, you know. And
So
it
you've
was
done
my slowest.
14 official swims, but you've done more.
I think definitely because they lost some of the Auckland St. Martin, they lost some of the swim, you know. Yeah.
Okay. And is that your last one?
Yes, it will be. It will be definitely my last. And as a matter of fact, I didn't know it was my last one because I had a phone call on Friday before the swim.
Yeah.
So the swim was on Sunday, and the surgeon told me that basically what did happen. I had cancer from the throat. I didn't know that for close to 1 year now. I mean, in January, I had some pain in December, same time last year.
Yep.
From there, when I went to see the doctor, he diagnosed, IBS sweet, you know, just
Go for some treatment.
yeah. Then he said, I said, no, I want to see a specialist, and eventually, you know, it was during Christmas. I managed to have an appointment in January. I had a biopsy pretty much, I think, early February, but then confirmed it was cancer. He said, oh, no problem, it's a little cancer. Take it off.
Yeah.
Take it off, and the thing didn't last. I mean, the thing came back 2-3 months later, I think, you know. So from there on, I say, okay, I go plan B, which is basically go for radiotherapy.
Okay.
So I had a good session there. I had about 35 sessions of that.
I think that was when we met in the store.
Yes,
and
right.
We were talking about how your doctors were quite impressed with your I don't know how to word this, but your recovery in between sessions.
That's right.
You really had very minimal side effects.
That's right.
You were swimming well. We were talking about cold water therapy and the assistance of swimming.
It was exactly because it did happen in the winter. You're right.
Yeah.
It's when it's happened.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah.
Okay, so
I
he
did.
delivered some bad news last week.
Well, I mean, then eventually what's happened is just this. I find this bad news. I say, well, it's back, and I say, okay, what are the options? Well, the option is pretty much, my God, the name. You need to have a PhD to be able to just write the name. It's called, I tell you, it's called total laryngectomy, which means what they do in 2 words, they take your vocal box, the box.
Voice box.
They take it out, and they put, you got a hole just in the middle, basically on your bottom of your neck, where you can breathe. You can eat normally after a while, you know. I mean, it's gonna after recovering, whatever.
Yeah.
But one thing what I know I won't be able to do, you can't swim.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you can't block this one because this is where you breathe.
So,
you know?
if you don't mind me asking, firstly, your voice box is going to be removed, right?
That's right.
So we're not going to be able to hear the super sexy voice anymore, right?
Well. Maybe yes.
Yeah.
Who knows? Because
Oh.
I talked to my son yesterday in Wellington. I mean, he's a bit of a IT specialist. I mean, he worked for the bank, but I mean, he said, well, with artificial intelligence, he interviewed me and so on and so forth, and he sent me already something today about his voice, what is artificial intelligence.
Okay.
So here, the first, I'm going to have a vibration. I won't be able to speak for 2 months, but this is for sure.
Your
Because
wife will be happy with that, eh? She can have a rest.
You're right there. You're right there, you know. But
So 2 months of just obviously rest.
healing, you know, pretty much everything healing. Then they put you a little. I should be out of the hospital after 15 days, 10 to 15 days. Here we go. Then after the thing is healed, they put you a little vibrator.
Mm-hmm.
Not the vibrator like you know, but
What makes you think I know anything about vibrators?
the vibrator basically. You have a robotic voice, which is not the voice what you're gonna have on the end. So you don't need to panic about that when you're gonna hear it.
Oh, yeah.
Then later on come the other device. So I have a therapist, a voice therapist, and
Okay.
you know I'm gonna be, if they manage to have all the cancer, I'm gonna focus on it, and life gonna be different, but it's gonna be still good.
Life is
You know?
going to be different but good, right? So
Yes, that's right.
I've got a question, because you don't strike me as the type of guy that's going to just, you know, shrug your shoulders and take whatever feedback is given to you, right? So, stupid question, and you say, I studied a BCom, I know nothing about anything, right? Because a BCom teaches you absolutely shit. So, you've got a hole in the bottom of your throat.
Yep.
Obviously, your voice, or not your voice, but your air pipes to your mouth and everything are still operational and working.
Yeah, but you can push it if you want to talk. If I breathe in,
Yep.
and I breathe out, and I close that here. The air has one way to go. Is this way,
I'm with you.
which is going to my mouth,
Yeah.
and it's your mouth
That creates.
what creates the sound, not your fold, your box.
Yep.
You know, it doesn't. It just basically closes when you go swimming. This is the reason the running was extremely challenging for me. In fact, not extremely challenging. I loved it, every minute of it, every second of it,
Yes.
because I know it was my last one. But you don't have the same capacity because you can close your fold in your voice box and retain the air, what you gasp in. To do 3 stroke here every second. You know, normally I do every 3, every 4,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, back in the day, somebody had a leg amputated and they said, hey, you're not going to be able to run again. And before they knew it, they were making, you know,
That's right.
prosthetics and, you know, Oscar Pistorius, Blade Runner type vibes. Surely we can make something for you, Jacques.
Well, I mean, technology is moving fast, but Duncan, seriously, if it doesn't happen, I mean, I tell you what, I had some bloody marvelous memory of swimming, you know, marvelous memory of sailing. I can't sail little boat anymore because if I fall overboard,
Yes.
technically I drowned.
Yes.
But it's heaps of shit I can do. You know, I mean, biking, I would like to do biking, you know, it's, I can skydive, I can do whatever I want.
Skydiving's wonderful.
Do you do skydiving, Jim?
I used to. I've got about 600 or 700 skydives. That's
My
in fact
God.
how I met my wife.
Did you?
I taught her how to jump out of an aeroplane.
My God.
This
is exciting.
No, actually, I was on the ground when she did her first jump, but
Yeah.
I think she's done about 5 or 6 jumps. Yeah.
Right.
Nice.
Her brother, who is probably the fault for it all, he stopped counting at about 10,000.
Wow. That's
Amazing.
incredible. eh?
Amazing. I only did one with my wife as well. She did one and we did one together. Yeah.
Tell me about your best swimming experience. So from what I understand, you've done the Apolima Strait.
I did the Polima Strait, yeah, this right, in about, I was, I think, 64. You know, so yes, I was nearly 65.
That's 20 odd kilometers, right?
23, yeah.
That's a proper swim.
It was a great swim. It was absolutely a fantastic swim. Amazing support again. Mike Cochran was there. I mean, he was the guy what opened the route with, I can't remember her name, this lovely lady. They swam together. And I swam 2 years or so after that. Okay. Because I did the series in Samoa, and I say, shit.
Yeah. Beautiful series as well, I believe. Yeah, I've never done it.
Right. This right. I said this straight looks good, and I had opportunity to do it. And I still today I'm the oldest person to have done this crossing. Then we went to Tahiti a few months later to do Tahiti Moorea.
Yeah. How far is that swim?
Technically, if you set it up, how you set up the course, you start from the lagoon. Yep. And you finish on the wharf, you can reach your 20 Ks.
Okay.
We were supposed to have a boat. We had two people. We had Mike Cochran again with a lady from the South Island.
Yep.
And I was with Sue. Sue, she's from Nelson as well. I did swim with her, not with her. We had one boat each and one kayaker each to do Apolima. But they give us the opportunity to be the guinea pig to do this crossing, and we jump on it. Eventually we find a boat, but late. The guys, he had problem with his kids, what was sick. Eventually we had a boat, so we start the journey late. So instead to start from the land, we start from the first buoy out of the reef to the red buoy on the other side. So it was 17 Ks if you wish, but it's a beautiful swim.
Warm water.
The swim of the gods.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, that's right.
So you reckon that's your favourite swim that you've done?
No. My favourite swim was this morning.
Okay.
And probably the one tomorrow going to be better.
Okay, I'm with you. I'd get that 100%.
Such a good answer.
Yeah. Where do you go for coffee after your swims? Where do you train? You're with the First Seals, right?
That's right.
Legendary, world famous First Seals.
Well, they have teach me a bloody a lot. They teach me to be comfortable in any sea.
Yeah.
Is in any sea, because you got this panic stage when you start swimming in the chopped brown water and you say hyperventilating, and they say, don't worry, Jacques, Linda Collard, she was marvelous for that. She said, don't worry, Jacques, don't worry, we all have it. And you build yourself up. You got amazing support, with obviously Roger and all the crew there. They're absolutely fantastic. They're supportive, and they put you through, and you come out of there a bloody good swimmer. And you say, just nothing phases you anymore. Just bring it to me.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. So where do you guys go for coffee after your training swims?
Well, we go to Sauce. Sauce, it's pretty much not on the waterfront. It's just one street behind at Koi. Yeah. It's a great place.
What's your coffee of choice after your swim?
Well, I used to do black coffee only. Black coffee, I love black coffee, but they told me for the radiation I need to have protein. So, I did put heaps of milk, obviously.
Yeah.
Everything where I could find some protein, I just took it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How many countries have you been to?
Oh my God, I can't answer this question, but quite a lot. I don't know.
Tons. How many countries have you swum in?
I don't know. I don't know.
That sounds like a good laugh when you don't know the answers to that.
Yeah, that's right. All the Mediterranean, we've been to Tunisia, Greece, Sardinia, Italy, France, Spain, Morocco, and so whatever island was in the middle.
Yeah.
Canary Island. Cape Verde was a funny one. Cape Verde Island. They're absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I came back to find my boat nighttime after I did fall in love.
Yes.
It was one of my first. I was just young. I was about 23 or so. And so this is the boat we were sailing.
What did you fall in love with, the boat or one of your crew?
I know, just a local, a beautiful local on the square. They were walking the girls there.
Yes.
And she was smiling passing at the time, and I said, oh my God. Nevertheless, the rest of the crew and the captain, they decided to go to the boat, and I stayed a bit longer.
Yeah.
And I decided to try to find the boat, and it was in the bay, it was pitch black.
Yeah.
I couldn't see anything. And the boat, I know it was there somewhere, you know. And I start swimming, and eventually I find it.
Yeah.
But it was a bit stupid, really. You know.
See where you were going?
Well, it was not the place you should have swum there. You know, it's busy night time.
But you're in love, so.
This right.
So, Jacques, my daughter was one of the lifeguards on the Rangitoto swim a couple of weekends ago. And they did witness a little, as they reference it, a little man in a grey suit that cruised past the swimmers and just quite sort of nonchalantly just carried on swimming, right? So my question, I guess, is have you seen any sharks, any whales, dolphins, wildlife on any of your swims that you can recall that made that a special memory?
Well, definitely the whales. You
Yeah.
know, the whales, the dolphin. I didn't swim with the orca, unfortunately. You know, it was an experience what recently happened in Auckland with the fur seal, which
Yes.
was quite amazing. But no, I mean shark. Yes, I mean shark. You see them. You know, I mean you see especially in the island, you could see them because the water is so clear.
Yeah.
Here, we can't see them. They're there,
Yeah.
but there it's crystal clear water. You see, it's
Yeah.
just a guy cruising along and
Yeah.
doing some business. You know, yeah. Like
So
they do.
not scared at all?
No.
Comfortable?
Absolutely. I mean, we definitely not on the menu. You know, we definitely not on the menu. I mean, it's an accident has happened, but there always accident.
Yes. What do you feed on a long swim?
On the swim, well, I basically electrolyte is the main for the electrolyte to don't have cramp.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends. If it's a swim in cold water, I probably don't need as much. If I go in the tropics, obviously you have tendency to sweat a bit more, so I reduce my feeding time for long distance. Sort with banana and peanut butter, what is quite nice, and have a magnesium. Be sure that the magnesium level is right, you know. Yeah.
So Roger hasn't converted you to chocolate fish?
Oh my God, yes, definitely. I mean, in porridge.
Yeah, yes.
Porridge.
Wherever we go, he's always do porridge.
Have
Doesn't
you
matter
seen
where.
that spatula of his, that wooden
Yes.
spoon that is no longer a spoon, it's almost just a stick
It was
from all the stirring?
It's been a drama in Aitutaki, the last swim, because he couldn't find it. He was lost.
He lost his stick. He lost his
stick,
spoon.
but he found it. He finally did, because I don't think he would have left the island ever if he didn't find it.
That's very cute, eh?
Yeah.
He makes a good porridge, eh?
I must admit,
Makes it
he's
really
bloody good. Yes, he's bloody good.
What do you reckon of the benefits to you have been from swimming? So from what I understand, you've been swimming for maybe 15 years, 18 years, something like that?
Probably, I mean, all my life, really, but not to the same extent as I have
In
done
terms of
since-
competitive swimming?
Since 1990, pretty much.
Okay.
We did pretty much what you thought 30 years
Yep.
ago. Yeah.
Wow.
So the benefit, I mean, just general fitness. You feel bloody good on it,
Yep.
and the mental benefit are as much as the physical one.
Yeah.
Is absolutely remarkable. You know, I mean, I know I'm gonna need to compensate for that, and I still do.
Yeah.
You know, I still meditate a lot, and just to put me in a zone, you know, where I can really relax. You know, at least twice per day, which gonna basically compensate a little bit for my swimming.
So you mentioned cycling. You're going to jump on the bike a little bit?
Yep, I mean, I got a bike, and it's a lot of area. Obviously, I'm not a very good walker due to my motorbike accident.
Yep.
But saying that, see what is in the pipeline. If I need to replace a few knee and a few things here and there to be able to visit some places, that's gonna happen. You know.
Yeah.
So your motorbike accident, you were in your 20s.
I was 21, the day of my 21, because I could choose my surgeon. My father was in Africa with my mum, and I wasn't. They were looking to amputate my leg, and it was a touch and go. And then I had an advice. People recommend me a surgeon, which I want him to operate on me. He came and see me. It was 8:00 in the morning when the accident happened. And he see me and he said, "I need to have 2 hours sleep. I just finished it all nighter."
Yeah.
So he went back for a sleep and worked for me for 8 hours.
Wow.
With another surgeon on the arterial thing, but it was 11 broke, and he did a marvelous job. I mean, shit, I don't need a crutch, I don't need anything.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. But you still ride a motorbike. You're still on a Vespa.
Yes, the Vespa and my Fiat 500. I got a little Fiat 500 Bambina, which is absolutely like new. I restored completely.
You're also a fan of VWs, right? You and I had a long chat about VW, the combis, the old folksy buses at one stage.
Yeah. I had that. But it just, I didn't need to go for the full restore.
Yeah.
Which I decided to don't do because I know it would be so costly. I did it with my Fiat 500, and it cost me probably the price of 2 new ones. But it's perfect, and I'm happy with it. I don't regret it. He put a smile on my face all the time, and everybody would see it.
Yeah.
So it's a bonus,
That's awesome, man. What do you want to? I mean, a message to fellow swimmers, a message to your family.
The message for the swimmers is this guy had been super supportive. I just hope that the swimming community going to be supportive, and the experienced swimmer will help the beginner, because you see some guy they panic in the water, they start like we all have done. We need to be patient and bring them to speed, and be always positive, whatever we do with them, because it's from a safety point of view is fantastic. You can swim. On a pleasure point of view, the benefits. And for my family, well, I'm so proud of them. The 4 kids, they did, like I said, they all did. Considering I'm a heavy dyslexic, couldn't do any study. I didn't finish even my primary.
Okay.
But I opened a company what is very successful in New Zealand,
There you go.
And I got marvelous client, and I do a job what I really proud of, But my kids, they have done their job what they wanted to do.
Yep.
I got a designer, except my oldest one. She should really be a vet.
Okay. What does she do?
She's farming.
Okay.
Is the one her mom pushed her pretty much to go back to commerce. And by then, when she was 22, she was flying on an helicopter in Paris to have some meeting. Okay. Because she was part of the Commerce International, French, English, because she was speaking Kiwi perfectly and French. Yeah, we got here in New Zealand. It's marvelous. We got so many different nationalities.
Very continental country, right?
Yeah. So the kids definitely happy as about them. The happy family has been the biggest. I need to really credit to my wives. Yep. My first and second one.
Yep.
And a bit of credit for me too.
Of course. I can imagine you only being an awesome dad. Do you think about the kids and the wives and the business while you're swimming? Is that something you think about on a long swim, or do you just zone out and sort of focus on?
Well, it's interesting. Sometime I did hear with what's happened. I did have some thought coming in, obviously, but so far zoning out. Definitely, I used to fall asleep. My kayaker during a polymer. I told him before then because he was quite funny. He's the only kayaker, matter of fact, from the complete fleet. I think we were 12 to try to do it. A few people pulled out because it was so rough, this particular crossing. Yeah. They all the kayaker, they all flipped because we had this big swell coming, sideways. For the swimmer, you're right, doesn't make the thing go there, put your head there. But for the kayaker to go slow on an angle like that, tough work, and all credit for them. And none of them survived it except one. my kayaker, Philip. And I say, and I say to Philip, sometimes I have tendency to have a bit of a snooze. So if I go offside, don't worry about it. And it's true. I just, and I did talk to Mike Cochran about that. And he said, well, sometimes, you close the eyes a bit longer than expected. And just go into a zone, And it's lovely.
You come up and stick your head up and get back on track after that.
That's right. I mean, if you got a slice, or sometimes the sun, you not
super
too far
relaxing,
off. Yeah. It's absolutely marvelous. It's a marvelous sport.
It is.
Yeah.
That's been a wonderful story, Jacques. I've really enjoyed listening. You've had a tremendous life.
That's right. I can't believe how fortunate I have been, But I think everybody can make it interesting for themselves.
I agree with you on that one.
They just need to take opportunity and, and I don't talk necessarily about financial opportunity, just any opportunity would come in front of you, sport-wise and whatever. I mean, you never know what's happened.
So I think you're a legend, and I'm not prepared to not see you in the water again. So I'm going to track down your son's number, and we're going to figure out a way how to stick a finger in that hole of yours in your throat and get you swimming. I don't know what we're going to stick a snorkel from your throat. I don't know. We'll make a plan.
Sounds like backstrokes. Backstrokes. The face says no.
No. This, to be honest, I keep an open mind.
Yes.
I always will keep an open mind, and
so let's make a deal now. We will have a part 2 session in somewhere down the line, and we'll get a recap of this and see where you're at and what you're up to. And
it's cool. It's cool. I mean, you give me a few months' time. I mean, the 3 months, and people want to, give me encouragement. If pity, please. I can't handle pity. Poor this, poor that. Shit, I'm not poor. And I'm everything except. I'm just fortunate. So, but if you say yes, you can do it. Yes, I can do it.
Awesome.
Wonderful.
Okay. Jacques, thank you so much, dude. Have an awesome swim tomorrow.
Yeah.
And whoever you're swimming with, make sure that you give them all high fives. And tomorrow will be the best swim of your life.
It will be the best swim of my life. Thanks a lot, guys.
Great. Thanks very much. It was wonderful speaking to Jacques. In the next episode of Clever Dicks, we will speak about
toe float or not toe float. Toe floats. Safety toe floats or safety buoys. It's a couple of different names for them. And I guess just the good, the bad, the ugly.